Everyone, I'm Laura Narpal, one of the founders of Mach 1, Roadside Assistance, and we're here today with a couple of very special guests. You may have seen them on A&E and various social media channels. They have a fabulous program out of Delaware here, and we are so excited to talk to these amazing lady founders today who have just brought so much knowledge about female towers in the industry and how we can be strong leading ladies. Today, we're gonna bring Christy Gustin into the conversation, ready to fire away with some questions for these ladies. So Christy, take it away.
I am a huge fan. I know that you've been in business for almost 2 years now. One of the first things that I wanted to know was, why did you choose towing?
Started off, I was a behavioral specialist in an elementary school. It's in the middle of, trying to figure out best career plan. I just graduated college and I just wanted to try something different. I met Arisa and her husband on a cruise maybe about 6-7 years ago, and we just kind of kept in touch over the years. A friend and her husband actually owns a towing company in North Carolina. I went down there, went to visit them for a little bit, and I fell in love with, everything that, got to do with towing. So I decided to give it a shot.
Arisha, you had the background in towing via your husband's business, right?
Right. So I was already working with him, expanding his businesses and working in the office and helping him out with his stuff. So I was already in the industry for a little while.
So Maisha, was there like a learning curve? Did y'all go out and try to learn how to, unhook a vehicle, or how did that process look for you?
So initially, I went down there on a vacation, just to visit them down in Greensboro. He's working, so I just did a ride along with him. And then I didn't move down North Carolina till maybe like a year later, get everything settled up here at home and just completely shadow behind him and, hands on pretty much everything and learned everything. And then came back up to Delaware, and then we started Pink Cobras Towing. And
that's all she could talk about. After that ride along, nothing else was a discussion. She had heard about it because I ride along with them and, we had talked about it, but after she did it and seen it for herself, it was a done deal.
You're saying oh yeah, I loved it, I fell in love with it, but I'm like, how does that happen when it's such a rough environment?
You never know what's going to happen in the towing field. I don't think I can go back to a job where it's Monday through Friday, the same thing. So I think it's like an excitement for me. I love, trying new things. It's like a rush for me. I guess,
adrenaline rush, right?
Adrenaline rush. Yeah. That's the word I'm looking for. Exactly.
I think we hear that about a lot of different first responder jobs.
Really? Yeah. We're not too far off from, ambulance and first responders, police and firefighters and stuff like that, because they never know, what they're going to come up against. And it's pretty much the same thing in the towing industry. You just never know what you're going to come up against.
Yeah. I love that y'all decided to do this together and launch the business. But tell us about the name, because it's eye-catching, it's funny, everybody looks at that. And can you know what it stands for?
Right.
Yeah.
You got that one.
We were just sitting around, just throwing names back and forth, just having a name session, really. We both just sat up and looked at each other like, that's it. And then we put the meaning behind it, because we already knew what we wanted to stand for. And we wanted to what we wanted to be known for, what organizations we were going to promote behind our business. So all of that just we put it in a ball, we threw it out there, it came up. And it was perfect.
It really was. It was perfect. Yeah. And then, of course, it's all female towing company. That's kind of where the color came from. And then also breast cancer awareness. We try to be heavily, supported in that organization group. Breast cancer is pink. Hookers, we hook up cars, of course, and then the towing part. So we did. That's what I said. Everything just kind of perfectly came together, literally.
My next question is, as an African-American woman-led business in Newcastle, what has your experience been so far in the industry as a new business?
We get a lot of support. Even before the TV show even came about, just being young, African-American, and, us being entrepreneurs and in Delaware alone, Newcastle, Wilmington, we be on the highway, people beeping a horn at us. We get a lot of support.
I've noticed that the industry is a little bit competitive. I was also going to ask you if you felt like a certain camaraderie in this industry. Does it go both ways?
In my experience, it is competitive, but how I look at it is it's so many cars here. Like you see a million cars a day. So it's like literally enough for everybody. So I'm sure other people probably be in competition with us, but we do what we do and, stay in our lane and out here helping people. And so, like I said, it can be competitive, if you're looking at it like that, but I just look at it like it's just so many different avenues in towing to where we don't really have to compete with anybody.
And we're still learning and we're still out there. So it's like, we got our hands full. We can't sit here and try to keep up with somebody else and we're trying to keep up with ourselves.
Right.
I think it seems like there's been so many opportunities for you too. And that's really brought you out there. I mean, and I think people will be honking at you just from seeing your name anyway.
Exactly.
Even our guys here said that they saw you at the Florida Tow Show, like selling your merch and everything. It's like,
yeah.
That was actually our first tow show that we ever done. And it was an experience for both of us. We had never been, involved in anything that big. And it was great. We had such a great turnout. People loved us. We loved seeing the people there. It was great.
And I mean, there's really a whole female support system within the towing industry. We're just all excited for you to see your
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And I think that, even selling your merch for those causes and things like, the women's TRAA and to be involved with, I think there's so much potential. The fact that you're in the limelight, you can bring awareness to some of the causes within the industry, like the Move Over, Slow Down.
Exactly.
If there was one thing that you wish that you could change about the industry, what would that be?
For me, I think it would be city, state, and county contracts. I think they should allow it to be a lot more accessible to small business owners. I understand that they have a need for certain equipment for certain types of jobs, but I think they need to create more lanes for small business owners to get their foot in the door for those state and county contracts.
They don't make it easy.
No, and they want someone to manage it. And I mean, that's kind of the beauty we've been trying to look at doing too with the Mach 1 system. So we've actually looked at in the future doing some of those contracts because it still would facilitate it to come to you. And in the system, there's not one priority provider. It goes to the closest one. We've looked at trying to do some of those things too. Maybe we can help.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That would really help. Because it kind of boxes you out, It boxes you out and you're really just trying to get started and you can't grow if you can't get certain business.
Right. And you don't have the time to manage the entire city bid for every call that comes in, right? That would be your own full-time job. So
I was watching the show. I noticed that Maisha just had this like commanding presence that whenever she was there, the customers all of a sudden would de-escalate so quickly. And that kind of makes me think about what is one misconception that you would change about the industry, like a kind of awareness that we should bring to the customers. So maybe it would make your life a little bit easier.
We're doing our job at the end of the day. Like some people always get so angry at us and get so upset when they're in the wrong. That's initially why their car is getting towed. Like we just not out here just, taking people's cars and just towing just to be doing it. We're contracted with wherever we're towing the car from. We're contracted with them and we have a job to do. Wish people would, kind of understand that a little more. One of the things that still I still think about it sometimes, it was actually on the TV show. So you can actually get kind of a first-hand look of kind of what happened that night. I think that might have been the first episode. So we had like this, she threw bottles at our trucks and it was crazy. Like we got major threats, death threats and, stuff like that, all because she was in the wrong. I'll say, that still kind of plays in my mind a little bit because that was a real dangerous situation, that could have went left when a customer, approaches me aggressive or, whatever. Like once I explain to them, the rules and regulations, and they usually kind of calm down a little bit. And then me being a female, a lot of people just, they just kind of back down a little bit. And I always tell my drivers, like, you can get out of most situations by just using your mouth and, using your brain. Then you 9 times out of 10 can get out of that situation. So once I explain to them the reason and all that, they usually be like, okay, that makes sense. I'm in the wrong. I parked in fire lane. Like, like I'm wrong. So yeah, so I just right, exactly. A lot of times people don't understand why their cars getting towed. You know what I mean? So I try to be patient, and I got a degree in criminal justice. So with my background and being a behavioral specialist, I pretty much kind of mastered that.
What are the type of contract you're out looking for right now? I mean, we've all seen the show. We know that there's different ones at apartments and places like that. What is like your ideal contract that you're going for, your ideal customer that you'd like to service right now? What does that look like for you?
At the end of the day, we're service women. So any contract that we can get, we'll take.
Right.
We're here to provide the service, and we can handle it, and we can take care of the service. If it's private property, if it's a city or state or county contract, doing things like with you guys, stuff like that, we'll take on the job. Yeah. We're service women. So.
Right.
How many people are working for you right now, and where do you want to see it to grow to?
Well, we got about 5 of us all together. We have about 3 trucks. And then the future is we just want to continue to provide, more jobs for women. We would love for more women to get on our team. That's pretty much my goal. Just expand as much as we can. Hopefully, prayerfully, we start working with the police department and, getting those type of contracts, working with the, state troopers and government, federal, stuff like that. That's the ultimate goal.
We really want to remove that label that this is a male-dominated field.
Exactly.
If you feel like you can do it, and that's a man or a woman, if you feel like you have the ability to do something, go out and do it. Go out and try it. Don't let the label that someone else put on a job title intimidate you.
That's good advice for just any young lady coming up into the career. There's those of us out there that have kind of paved the way to say it doesn't matter what you were told you couldn't do, because here we are doing it. So
here we are doing it. I would never in a million years think that I would be a tow truck driver. Like in a million, I never would think that. Like I originally wanted to, work for the FBI when I went to college. Like that was my ultimate goal. But I love what I do, and I would not change it for nothing. Like I have a passion for what I do.
I think it's the whole "don't believe me, just watch" mentality.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of my theme songs when we started Mach 1. I'm like, don't believe me, just watch. Like,
just watch. Absolutely. It's funny that you actually say that, because when we first started Pink Hookers, like I didn't really tell too many people, but I told people, the name and what I was doing, and it was like, yeah, right. Like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't. A lot of people wasn't too excited for me, but then when it happened, they like, wow, like y'all really did it. It motivated a lot of people as well too.
Yeah, I think you can inspire people, and for anyone that's starting a new business, if you're sharing your idea with people, be prepared for the ones closest to you not to be a supporter. It's not that all of them won't be a supporter.
Right. Exactly.
You have to have the mentality, just keep going and focus on what your dream is. To see.
Exactly.
It's funny that you say that people kind of underestimated you in the beginning, but how soon after you put the business out there did A&E actually reach out to you?
Yeah, how that happened was we posted our first picture on Instagram on January the 31st. They reached out to us mid-March, so it was pretty quick. And that was the creator of the show. A&E picked it up, but the creator of the show was who actually picked us to be a part of the group.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So it's almost like your first experiences with your new business was pretty much open for the whole entire world to see.
Yeah, we kind of stepped up there on faith. We had already started getting things together in December, and then the pandemic hit. So, we were like, okay, well, we're already in the motion. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep pressing forward. And that's what we did. So everything worked out. I really think the pandemic kind of helped us a little bit, because it gave us a chance to get our feet wet without having the pressures of, the whole world. So, we kind of got in the game a little slower than others, but it worked out for our benefit.
I've been hearing that actually quite a bit, is that the pandemic helped businesses in kind of unexpected ways. So it's refreshing to hear you say that too, because we had, similar experience. You guys are growing really fast. We're excited for you. You're gonna be doing this
just like you guys. Like I said, when we first started, like we was trying to sign up for you guys, and here you guys are nationwide, which is awesome.
Yeah, we're working on some really big things. So we're excited to what's coming up for the next few months here. Is there anything else you would like to share with us or with the listeners today about either being female entrepreneurs or just the towing industry in general or your business in general?
Definitely follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're not on Twitter yet, but
we're trying to get on TikTok too. We're trying to do it.
Yeah, we'll try.
We'll be watching for you there, and we'll definitely put your handle in the comments section of this video so everybody can follow you.
Yeah.
Okay. We also have a store online. You can purchase our merchandise. We got t-shirts, hoodies, hats, pretty much the whole 9 yards. If you are ever in Delaware in need of roadside assistance, we're there to help. You can always definitely give us a call. And then I will say too, any female, entrepreneurs, like Arisa said in the beginning, you just kind of got to stick to it. And if you can dream it, you can do it. Don't let being a male dominant field not allow you to, deter you from anything. We was able to do it. It wasn't an easy process. It definitely is a process, but you can get through it.
I love what you said. And I think really to add to that, there's still most industries that are male dominated, right?
Exactly.
And it takes each one of us to kind of be brave and go out in those industries to really change it. So
right. And believe it or not, like since we started this, we get people just inboxing us. It's be other female drivers. They like, you guys motivated us so much. Like they love what we do. We're women doing it. They said just watching us, help them, motivate them and shape them into what they are now.
And even some men have given us, thumbs up, like, wow, you ladies really stepped out here and you're doing it. I'm proud of you, so it feels good both ways.
They should be. Look at what y'all are doing.
We still working, Laura.
Yeah. Well, you ladies are so awesome. I cannot thank you enough for your time today. It's been such a pleasure, and I can't wait for us to stay in touch and follow your story, and for everyone that's following Mach 1 to follow your story. And be watching A&E and all your social media channels. And we're definitely going to see some big things from y'all. So we appreciate you, and we hope to be hearing more from you all soon.
Thank you guys so much for
you guys as well.
Absolutely.